Hello guys, welcome to my live. Now I'm gonna comment. Hello Rini, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing awesome today.
Ooh, I'm very excited for the live now.
Me too. We are going to talk about some really good, tough stuff.
Yes, it's tough, but can be good after, afterwards.
Yes. Oh God, it could be a after.
So guys, this is Renee. She's a divorce lawyer from Connecticut, and she is actually amazing. She have a program where she explain more about the divorce and the process that you afterwards, life after the divorce. And it can be a bad thing, and at the same time, I don't know how to explain exactly, but uh, it's basically how to move on and happy with
Yeah.
your life, because I think it's not everyone goes through a divorce somehow, and it's a really, really tough and hard time, but you need this help to move on, and it's really amazing the work you do.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to explain more about it.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been a divorce lawyer for almost 20 years now. And the funny thing is what I noticed is when people are going through the divorce process, it has nothing to do with what's in their actual agreement that dictates how they come out the other side. And it has everything to do with their mindset. It has everything to do with deciding like, okay, this divorce, it's happening, but it's not defining who I am. And it's just a moment in my life. And, there's so much more to just going through a divorce. And there's so much around how you're thinking about it and what does life look like after, and taking control back and taking power back for your life and educating yourself. And that's why I created the course, was because I wanted to help, especially women going through a divorce, to really get their mind wrapped around everything that they need to know about the process, because it is so overwhelming. And in it, we talk about mindset, we talk about managing expectations, we talk about what potential parenting plans can look like, and how to divide property, and whether you even want the house, because maybe you don't want the house. Maybe it's just going to suck money and it's preventing you from living your life and going on vacation and doing the things that you want to do. So it has everything to do with so much more than just signing an agreement. It's really, it all has to do with your perspective on everything. And that's why I wanted to create this, is to really help change the perspective around what divorce is.
What are your advice for those the women that's going through the divorce and they have kids? Again, I bet it's harder than when you don't have, because
You
there's kids
know, yeah,
involved.
it is hard. It is hard, but you can absolutely get out the other side. So just using myself for an example, I'm also divorced. I'm actually twice divorced, but I have a son from my first marriage, and he's 16 years old now. And you know what? Those first few months when I didn't have him on those weekends was absolutely terrifying, and it was so upsetting, and I was so afraid of being alone. But you learn to start to reinvent who you are. And in that time you don't have your kids, you start to fill it up with things that maybe you put on a bucket list, or maybe you put on your later list, and you start to do things for yourself. And listen, even if you don't have your kids on a weekend, like, you're probably still doing some parenting stuff. You're probably still going to the activities. And especially as they get older too, and they have more activities, there isn't a weekend that goes by that I'm not doing something with my son, even though it's not technically my weekend. So kids will be okay. It's conflict that causes consequences and problems in kid, is not the divorce itself. So you have to remember that, kids can adjust. And if you stay in an unhealthy marriage and you're staying in something that's really toxic, the kids are watching that, and they're seeing that, and they're going to learn from that and model that. And do you want to teach them that a healthy relationship looks like this thing that you're in that maybe is just so unloving and so toxic? Or do you want to show them that you both can go on and live a fulfilling and have a happy relationships and healthy relationships? So, you know, it's always people think that when they stay because of the kids, they're doing a service to them. And sometimes it's quite the opposite. They're doing a huge disservice.
Sometimes I think the kids feel, because I had an experience, the kids feel even better after divorce, because during the marriage, when it's not working out anymore, you're planning to separate, the kids watch the fights, you know, they can kind of get upset. And I heard a lot of stories where the kids were happier that the parents were not together anymore. And
Oh,
that's actually helped the parents to become friends again, you know? So
yeah.
I think it's very important.
You
They
know,
smart.
and with my son, we have my ex and I have a really healthy co-parenting relationship. And I bet if you asked my son, like he didn't have his take on what divorce is not going to be the same as kids who are in a really unhealthy in an intact home, but it's filled with fighting and it's filled with conflict and it's filled with everyone's walking on eggshells. Like that is far more damaging than to have a child who lives in two separate homes. And so, you know, it's definitely when people are trying to make that decision and they stay because of the kids, they, you know, that breaks my heart, because often when the kids know, they know that something's up, they know mom and dad aren't getting along, or they don't talk to each other, or they're sleeping in separate bedrooms. Like, kids are smart, they see.
Yeah, I agree. It's smarter than you think. So what
Mm-hmm.
are the other advices? I'm gonna give you an example. For women that live in abusive relationship, sometimes it's not the guy, it's not because he's bad or not. It's just the two of them just don't work together anymore, you know. So it kind of end up being an abusive relationship. And some women, they just stay there. They're too afraid to start over, to get out of this kind of, it's kind of end up being toxic for her.
Yeah.
And I think it's both, they both faults. And I don't know how to explain exactly, but what are like your advice for that?
Yeah, so you know, there's two things. One, if it's an abusive relationship, there's so
Yeah.
many support is out there. There's so many people and programs out there who are ready to step in and help. And I would say that's the first piece of advice: is get the help, talk to someone, have an escape plan, go to your family, go to your friends. These people support you and they love you. And a lot of times women don't speak up because they're embarrassed or they're ashamed of it. And they think that, you know, things are going to get better. And for that reason, they stay. But really reach out to family and friends, and that's in that situation. And then the other situation you talked about is if maybe it's not abusive, but it's just not great, or it's just not loving, there isn't any shame there either. So separating because you're with someone who isn't your match is totally okay. Like, listen, we have one really short life. So are you going to stay in a marriage and in a relationship that doesn't bring you happiness? Like, that's a really long time to live unhappily. And you can move on. You can find someone who is your match, and maybe those other people, if it's a first divorce or a second divorce, whatever it is, they were there for a reason. They were there to teach you, to help you grow, to help you recognize really what you want or what you're worthy of. And you know, they're all learning experiences, and I don't ever look at anything like a failure, or you know, this marriage didn't work and it's, you know, I'm a failure because of. It's not that. These are all learning experiences. But also recognize when something's not working, it's okay to say, I'm not okay with this. It's okay to walk away from it and leave it, and say, I deserve more, or I'm worthy of more. And that could just be, I'm worthy of happiness. I'm worthy of wanting to be with a partner who fills me up and who is really my partner, and not having any shame about feeling like you have to stay in something just because you're there, and just because it's just fine, or it's not that bad, or he's a perfectly good person, or she's a perfectly good woman. And if it doesn't feel good to you anymore, it's okay to walk away. I think we're beyond the point of having shame around divorce, or sticking it out like, you know, the prior generations did. You stick it out no matter what. Like, life is way too short to stick it out.
Sometimes I see that the women, they're ashamed, of course, and in a lot of cases it end up somehow being her fault. You know, if something didn't work out, everyone sees like she did something wrong, it's her fault, he's toxic because of her. And I think that get into your head and you want to keep trying, but that's some at some point your mental health is just so, I'm sorry, destroyed and fucked up that you can't try again. You just want to get out somehow, leave. You don't want to talk. There's a lot of situations like that. So I think I don't even know how to explain that. Like, how do women should, what is the point that you should say stop, I want to
Mm.
divorce now? And then, like, how do you approach to your husband or ex-husband and say that without he being aggressive or do something else? Because of course, or both parts, can be the husband or the wife. How do you approach and say this is not working anymore in a friendly way? Friendly way. We should move on with our lives, because what I see, like, sometimes you say that in a friendly way, but the person end up not accepting it. Yeah, accept that at that time because they want to fight, like, okay, it's not working out anymore, let's separate, let's move on. And the next day, person comes to you like, hey sweetie, like nothing happened. How do you deal with people like that? I'm not
Yeah.
saying men or women, like both. It can be
So
both sides.
here's the
It's complicated.
Yeah, and I love this. I love that you brought this up because I think that we women typically are conditioned to be people pleasers. And so just because you have something to say that's really uncomfortable or isn't going to be well received doesn't mean you don't say it anyway. So it's getting really comfortable with speaking your voice and not holding back to avoid the conflict. And I think a lot of women do that. They want to keep the peace and they don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers, and they want to keep everyone happy. They don't want to disappoint everyone. But you're doing that to the detriment of yourself and your own happiness. And so it's just, I think it's just becoming so clear on what you want and who you are and what's important to you, and then speaking it and being brave about it. I mean, how did it go? How did you make that decision?
Me? Oh, it's so complicated. But I was kind of giving a lot of chance in my head without saying anything. And there were some situations that I was just like talking out, listen, this can't happen anymore. I can't do this anymore. Can you change? Can you take these people out of the house or change this and that? And the person would say, yes, I'll change. I'll do it. But it never did. And fast like 1 year later, the same situation. Nothing changed. And it was even worse, it was just getting worse. I realized that not only for me, but for him, because he was becoming like, I don't know, his bad habits and everything.
Yeah.
So I was doing good for him, he wasn't doing good for me. And sometimes he could see that, he could not see that I wasn't the right person for him, because I wasn't happy, just kind of keeping moving on in the house, all 100% alone, all day alone, because the person would be working or doing something in the office. So when I wasn't working, I kind of miss it. When you marry someone, if you both have a job, I think it's very important you give a little bit of attention, or you take it out for dinners. You need that attention because you are with that person, right? And I couldn't feel it anymore, and I got a lot of this. I got this disrespect in my own house many times from people that the person put to live there, but um, he didn't give a fuck. I'm sorry for the bad words. Didn't care really. And I asked many times, "Can you change this situation, please? I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving." The person would not change, like I said before. So I just decided this is over, like, listen, I'm warning, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, I want to travel with somewhere else, let's talk it out. We talked to the kids. I did talk to the kids. They are kind of already knew what was happening. They accepted. They were crying but laughing, being happy for me, the travel the world. But when I got here, the person was just texting me like, hello, like nothing was happening, like if I was coming back. And then I was being friendly, and keep in touch because I was scared. That I think happens a lot of time. You think the man has the power to do something bad for you, and I have an America's green card, like, and I was kind of scared he could do something about that, but at the same time, I thought I don't want to live there anyway, so it would not hurt me if that get taken away from me. But it's kind of the person end up threatening you in any ways they can, so they can keep you in their lives. And a lot of women, they're scared of the threats and they just come back, and
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. Like, threaten me with whatever you want. I just can't do it. My mental health was destroyed. So it's not, even if I loved or not, my love was dying little by step by step. And I said many times, listen, my love's dying. We need to put ourselves together, get it back, talk many times, but it didn't happen. The change, no. I don't know, maybe the change from my side and his side as well didn't happen. It's not only his fault, it's my fault as well. But like you said, we didn't work, we didn't work together. So
Yeah.
why I can't move on? Because people say that have to be married for many years, or I use him for something like to be in America. But right now I'm not in America, so it's not about that, Or I use him to have something like, if you have money or not. But I'm not getting anything from it, I just want to get my freedom. So I think, like I said, I'm gonna bring it up again. People always scared. The women or the men end up being scared because the other partners start to make threats, and you come back to that because of these threats.
Yeah.
I'm like, do whatever you have to do, or you feel like to, I don't know, fuck with me, but just do your job and I'm done. No, that's what I said.
I think you bring up a really good point of, because I saw there was a comment about, did you do your part? Like someone had said that. And I think that you bring up such an important point, is that when you're in something and you're saying to the other person, listen to me, I need something. Something's broken. And that other person doesn't meet you there and isn't working with you, you do start to lose that love goes away a little bit at a time, and the resentment builds. And so, did you do your part? Someone said, like, the other person has to do their part too. There's two people that really have to meet in the middle. And sometimes that just doesn't happen. And you don't have to say that, there's a fault or a blame. Sometimes people just aren't connected in a way that they can work through stuff like this, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to. And I think that that's important for people to hear, who feel like, they have to stick it out and stay. Like, sometimes you just, it's a gift to the other person to say, you know what, this isn't working. Our relationship is broken. We can't fix it. There's resentment. We're losing our love for each other, and it's time to move on. Like, you had a place in my life, and now, now it's time for both of us to move on with our lives. And there isn't any shame in that. And, congratulations, like, bravo to you for making that decision, because I know it was probably so hard for you to make, especially being in the spotlight and people watching, and you're going to have people who are opinionated, and everyone thinks that they know better for you than you do yourself. And at the end of the day, you're the only one who can make that decision on what's going to make you happy.
Because inside of me, like, I think a lot of women think like that. You want to make them happy, or make the neighbor think good about you. Because sometimes people think bad things about you. You don't want that opinion. Especially me. I am a public person. Like, I have a lot of followers, and a lot of people know me in States. So sometimes I'm like, I don't want they think I'm someone like that, I have to keep trying. But at some point, I'm like, listen, I'm the one that is in this situation, not them. I'm the one that has no mental health anymore. So I need to do something for myself, not for them. That's what I did. I think women should do something for themselves. Men too, because I can't blame only men. So it's both parts, and they need to, like, do a change, somehow. And maybe if you think it's still gonna work with that person, just try, I don't know, maybe couples therapy. That's my opinion. But that's at some point that's no trying,
Yeah.
because you're not happy. You just don't want to. I don't know if you know what I mean. In your head, it's just no, don't
Yeah.
go. Your heart, same thing. Don't.
Yeah. I
Don't matter
and
the person so much, but it's no. You're not happy.
yeah.
And I'm a free person. Like, I live in Europe for since 2016. I was living in Asia 2015, so I always travel a lot. And or doing something in the city, I like to travel. I like to know new things, speak new language. And when I got there, I was completely alone. That's how I felt. I only had a company with the animals company, I mean the kids. But it's just I have to adapt for a new place. That was easy for me. But the hard part was feeling alone and not having the attention, even though he moved his whole family to the house, or the family he had with his ex-wife, moved everybody to the house. And I knew that not gonna work. My head was like, this not gonna work. No way. Because they're gonna start to do everything, and then I'll be like sleeping or doing something else. I'm really the one doing it. And sometimes it would change when he talks. He actually tries sometimes. He would talk to them like, listen, you have to try, do something, help. Okay. And even he would help me 1 or 2 days. And then they completely forget about me. Like, they'll give a damn about it. Basically, I was the one doing everything. And I even share with my friends. I have another Instagram, Brazilian Instagram. I share everything I was feeling. And now I look at that situation, I was like, oh my God, we had very happy moments.
Yeah.
But unfortunately it didn't work, and I had to change. And I think
Yeah.
I have friends that's living this situation and they don't want to change because they're scared. They're
Yeah.
too scared to try again. Or I don't know if I'm gonna find a job. How can I maintain myself? He's paying for everything. If I leave, I don't have anything. Where am I gonna live? Is always have a solution or situation, like, because the person make threats, and
Yeah.
they are because of the threats. Like, I have a friend, a woman. She lives in States, and she's scared. Uh, she's with this guy for many years, and now they married. She was legal there, and she always tried like treat her like shit, and then just threat her like, if you leave, I'm gonna take away the kid.
Yeah.
I don't know how the law is there, but try to find a solution. You can't live like that. Look at you. You're destroying yourself. You spend all these years being unhappy, and we just live one life.
Yeah. And
Courage.
it,
Huh?
you don't stay because you're afraid of being alone. Like, it's hard, it's uncomfortable. And I think after a divorce, it could be the darkest time of your life, but you will come out the other side of that, and there will become happier times. And at the end of that, you're going to stand on your own 2 feet and be like, you know what? I made it through something so hard. I'm empowered, I'm stronger, and I'm now happier and at peace. So staying in something just because you're afraid of what happens out the other side is really sad. And, I feel bad for your friend, because it isn't a way to live, and nothing is going to change. And everything works itself out. The money works itself out. The kids' custody works itself out. Like, all of those pieces, all of the reasons why people stay always work itself out. But it's just taking that first leap that's so hard to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think the most important thing that can make you completely lose respect for the partner, I think, is disrespect, right? When
Yeah.
a lot of things happen when I was married, I don't know if it happens to you as well. It's like the person has a problem, and he goes on into you. He starts to yell at you because of his
Mm-hmm.
problems. It doesn't happen. It's like sometimes he would be angry at the people that was living in your house, but I was the one that listened everything. He would get mad at me because they are not doing what he wants. So that's also was giving like me such a weight to my back, because I have to support
Yeah.
that. And then when I saw they're doing something wrong, I'm like, oh my God, and I have to listen the whole night, he yelling at me, you know. I think that's the respect, you know, I'm talking about. And at some point you can't take this anymore, you know. Like, why don't you go and talk to the person you're
Yeah.
angry with? Why you have to talk to me? I'm not your uh punch bag, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And you learn that that's not healthy and that's not a long, sustainable, healthy relationship. If you can't figure out communication, you go back to that. In any marriage, you're going to have things you disagree on and things that come up. And if you go back to respect, like you said, in communication, you can work anything out. But if you don't have that basic level of respect and just the basic communication, that's when it all falls apart. And you should not, no one should be living in a house where someone's constantly getting yelled at. That's just setting it up for so much walking on eggshells and negativity and just the resentment. No one should have to stay that way.
It's because I was so long, I never want to say anything because I was too scared to something that could be bad for me, you know. So I'm really bad now at communication even with my new partner. So what is your advice for that? Because sometimes I try to put my feelings out there, but I end up hurting a lot of times because I don't know how to communicate, how to speak out. And I learned from the other one because sometimes when I was never like that, you know. I like to talk a lot, I like to express my feelings and everything. The zero was like that, but I just got shut down completely. I didn't want
Yeah.
to speak because when I speak would be aggressive and super mad. So I kind of end up being scared to speak it out for myself or talk, normal talk, communicate. Because what's I gonna do? I have this in my mind, you know. What is your advice for that?
Yeah, so I had the same exact experience where my second husband, and it was as toxic could be. And when I came out of that, I had a big shell around me because I knew that I felt like if I shared something that it would get thrown back in my face. So now you flash forward, I meet my current husband, we get married, and communication is now something we really work on. And sometimes he'll have to pull it out of me and he'll have to be like, you can share. Like if you're stressed, if something's bothering you, like it's okay to be vulnerable. And I still have the impact of that other relationship because it's like, oh, I have to keep all of this to myself. It's not a safe space to share what I'm feeling or if I'm upset about something or I disagree. But my husband now, it is such a safe space. So it's, I have to remind myself of that. And we check in with each other of like, okay, like it's okay to say something that's on your mind or something that's bothering you. It's not the demise of our relationship. This is healthy communication. So it's a work in progress. And I think you just being aware of it is where you start, is just recognizing when you're bottling it up and keeping it in and recognizing, okay, like something's on my mind. Now I'm going to share it. I'm going to be vocal about it as soon as it comes up, and you don't hold on to it because you know what? The person you're with is someone who's not going to yell at you. They're going to listen to you and they're going to respect you. And that's what a healthy relationship is.
Yeah, I see that. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited, but I still get a little nervous, you know. I start
Oh, yeah.
sweating and I get nervous and I want to get out of it.
Yeah.
It's very
It's work. Absolutely.
so let's talk about another topic. Um, I think you talk about that already, but when the husband support 100% the wife, that I see a lot of case happening like that, and then she wants to get out, but she have no family, no money. What's she gonna do? What's the situation?
Yeah.
Like,
That's always the hardest. It's that's
advice.
that's the thing that keeps people stuck, is because they're afraid of how am I going to support myself. And there's a court system for that. And no court is going to give somebody all of the money and the other person nothing. And so, yes, it might mean that someone has to go back to work, and it might mean that you're getting recertified in something or finding employment. But that's not the worst thing in the world, because I think sometimes people have this, they say, well, I was a home mom and that was our plan. And now, now we're getting divorced and there's not enough money to go around. So now what? And I always say, like, why wouldn't you want to go back to work and have your own money so you're not waiting for your ex to pay you your support? And because you don't want to give him or her that power, to have to wait. And if they pay late, you don't have to nudge them and have that power over you. So going back and standing on your own 2 feet, yes, sometimes it's scary and sometimes you don't want to do it. But when you are doing it and you start to really become financially independent, there's so much power in that. And so the finances should never keep someone in a marriage. And I think it's probably the number one thing reason why people do stay in a marriage. But there are always solutions on how to divide up assets and how to separate things out. It's going to change everything. It's going to change your lifestyle. It's going to change where you live, but it's worth it still. Like, your peace is too heavy of a price to not leave because you're worried about paying the electric bill. Like, it all works out.
And I think a lot of husbands kind of trick the women so they can be financially independent, especially after you have a kids. You can go back to work, you don't get the help you need, or maybe he don't agree. Listen, even if the kid's 1 year old, I don't want anyone to watch it. You have to stay at home. You don't have to worry about anything. But I feel it's so bad. You want to buy something and you have to ask all the time. Maybe sometimes they throw in your face. They're doing that for you. So I think during the marriage, you should never be financial dependent on their husband, or they are, I don't know, or their husband financially dependent on their wife. I see a lot of cases, especially my my ex-husband with his ex-wife. I think happens the same situation, but that was a long marriage. They were married for many years, and I think after the divorce was really hard for her to come back because she was kind of a little lost, so many years not working. So I think in a lot of marriage, the women, so many years, 12 years married, and they get divorced, you get half of the money, and then what? They don't know anything about how works the house, how you pay the bills or anything, because he was the one doing it, and she ended up spending all the money and have zero and don't know how to start work on that. So I think it's very important during the marriage. What do you have to say, like, your advice?
I think my favorite story around that is post-divorce for myself. I wasn't the one who took care of the lawn, the yard, or anything like that. And it was one Saturday. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm not going to depend on anyone. I'm going to figure this out. And I spent an entire day like learning how to use the weed whacker and like weed whacking everything around my house. And it was like this sense of like, you know what? I figured it out. It was something I never had to deal with. Then I went and called a landscaper the next day and hired someone. But the thing is, you can figure out anything. You can figure out how to pay the bills or how to take care of the lawn, like whatever it is. And there's so much, there's YouTube, you can YouTube anything, but there's so much power in that where you're not depending on somebody else. And ultimately you may hire someone to take care of some of that stuff because you don't want to do it. But there is so much power in saying, you know what? Yes, it's scary. It's new. It's uncomfortable, but that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. Because it's when you push yourself, when you get uncomfortable, that's where the growth happens. And that's where, and that's where, like how we had talked about, like there's so much potential for happiness outside of the other end, but you have to get uncomfortable first. And you have to recognize that things could get really, really hard. And it's going to force you to have really uncomfortable conversations with yourself and push your limits and see what you're made of. But it's so worth it. Because when you're happy and when you're at peace, it is so worth all of the really hard stuff that you had to go through to get there.
Yeah, no, like always, the Brazilian in general, they love to be independent. That's something I learned since I was a kid. My mom put me to work, how to work really early. So I always had a solution for everything. Even when I could see nothing in front of me, I had situations working as a mother, had situations that I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I have nobody to call for help. And somehow
Right.
I found a solution. I was like, how did I find, how did I got out of there? And I always had to be independent, and I always had to find a new job, like work with something else. So keep money on my account because I support my family, and
Mhm.
I still do. One of the questions,
Yeah.
I still do support them, and that's what I think motivates me a lot because my family needs me and just keep me going even after I married. I had to find a way to keep the money coming,
Ah,
because I depend on it on him. Even I remember I had to ask, I think, one time for help, and I got yelled at, because the person see that they have the power over you. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want, and you have to shut up and listen to it. Accept it. I'm like, this is not gonna happen. You have me? Don't? Okay, bye bye. I found someone that does. And I did found. So, and that's I think a culture thing. I love that. Brazil. Not only Brazil, I have like 2 or 3 friends in America, Connecticut, and they were really hard time on divorce too because of, I don't know, alcohol, abusive relationship, and everything. At that time, they want to divorce, but they had no money for it. They found a way, and they're living the happy life now.
yeah.
And they're somehow my inspiration. They was my inspiration. Still is. When I was there, I'm like, if they did that with no money, why am I so scared waiting for.
Yeah. It
And
all
oh,
it always works out. It always works itself out. I think like the universe has once you say you slam the door on the past and you say, okay, there's nothing to do but move forward. It all works out. And that's, and I think that that's the takeaway is like you don't stay in something so bad just because of a fear of the unknown in the future, because it will all fall into place exactly the way it's supposed to.
exactly. And the one thing I don't regret being married or anything to the story is the story I had to live. And I had a lot of happy moments, more happy moments than bad, but unfortunately it didn't work. I don't like to say the person was horrible or anything like that because it just didn't work. I
Yeah.
might be the horrible one, he might be the horrible one. I don't know. It's both faults. I think that's no one person's fault. I think
Yeah.
both have something to do with it for not working out. So yeah, that's what I want to say. I don't think um, he is a bad person or anything. We just can't be together. It's just us. And I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, my friends all have boyfriend and girlfriends, gonna be alone again forever. Because I never had always had long relationships. I was with him for almost 5 years. So
Mhm.
that's this feeling, like you said, the feeling, the fear to be alone. If you ever find someone that's gonna like you the way you are or want to have kids with you, and boom, it happened. And was quickly than I thought.
Right.
Yeah, I could imagine this happens like that, but I did have this feeling. But when you stop worrying about that, it's like, let's live the life. Let's work and do something. Boom, the life just puts someone in front of you. I'm like, wow, how did this happen?
And look, yeah, like look at where you are now and look at how things unfolded. You
Yeah,
know,
it's crazy.
imagine if you didn't leave.
Yeah, I know what I would be doing here now.
Yeah.
I always have my routine basically was um, cleaning up people's mess, and cooking. That's it. That was my life. And I sometimes I would look at my old pictures of me traveling because I love about Europe. They have a lot of history, and it's so easy for you to go anywhere. United States is a little expensive, but you can still go. I love United States, but that's here is the first place I came after Asia. And I found love. I always wanted to be here since I was a kid. It was my dream. I put in my head like I'm gonna travel to Europe.
Yeah.
You see, I was like 9 years old. Everyone looked at me like, how? You
And
have
you,
money.
You're glowing. You are absolutely glowing now. And I'm seeing comments, people agree. You are absolutely like, you're just shining.
Yeah, because this is a beautiful place. I even want to cry because I really love it. You know, I feel the energy. I'm happy,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I was happy in the first. I think in the first months when I moved to the house was exactly the way I wanted. In the middle of nowhere, a lot of nature, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
animals, dogs. But the companies he put on it, like people to live there, completely destroy my peace, you know. And I was like, what's happening here? I suddenly become alcoholic and bad things,
Oh.
depressed. I'm never depressed. Like I'm Brazilian, I'm not gonna be depressed. But I was trying to hide my feelings and just keep the routine and doing things. The animals, they're the best. They kind of save you through the hard times, you know.
They do. I agree.
Animals and kids.
Animals
So
and I have
then the
I have a dog snoring right next to me right now. He's so loud. Like I don't know if you can hear me. Like trying to shush him. He's so loud. But they're
I had 5 dogs.
oh,
So they're the best company.
they
I
are.
think yeah, they help me a lot so not go crazy and offend anyone, you know. I was
Yeah.
trying to keep down. Like I wanna get out of this place like as much as possible. I don't wanna be enemy of anyone. I want everybody to live in peace. He found
Yeah.
another Latina that he likes, Latina. Be happy, you know, because he's handsome guy, so he for sure can find someone else. And everyone hates me. What can I do, you know?
And I mean, and look, your future is so bright. Your future, like this is just the beginning of this next chapter for you, and onward you go. And it's just part of your story. It's part of your history. There isn't any shame in that. Like we all have history, and it's just like okay, this is part of yours, and it happened for a reason. You went through it for a reason, and now you take that, you take those lessons, and you move forward, and without regret, and say thank you to all of that.
Yeah,
And now on
it's
to the next thing.
scary at all. Like it happens, it has to happen. I had good moments too, you know.
Yeah.
So, but now, I think the life gave me another chance to start a new life, my own family, and I could never imagine that. Not this year. This year was completely crazy, and
Yeah.
I was feeling a little sad. I watched your course, you know, and all your advice and everything. It was like, I'm not a bad person.
No, no.
Bad, you know, this happens. I think
Yeah.
everyone, it, you know, no, not just me. So
And
you've been through times as well, right?
yeah, yeah. Like, and that's the thing. Like, okay, everyone is human. So decisions that you make and things that you do doesn't like, and that like that's so sad to me is when someone thinks that they're a bad person because they've asked for a divorce or something like that. And it's just like, no, like that's like you get to make decisions. And it's sad when you get judged for them, but you just have to still make decisions that are in alignment with you, and paying attention to what's happening inside and tuning out kind of the conversation in your head, because your head will make you crazy. You're trying to like rationalize it and talk yourself out of things and listen to everybody else. But as soon as you tune in and like pay attention to what's happening inside, like you have all of the answers, like everything you need to know. Anyone who is in that same boat and is making a decision like this, like you already know. Just get quiet and listen to yourself, and the decision is really clear. And I think that that's just it's so important. I think that's just incredible that you did that. And you should be so brave of your proud of yourself to making that really hard decision and saying, you know what, I'm not accepting this for my life anymore.
You know, my mom has something funny about me. She says something funny about me. Like when she says no, is no. Like even all of I had boyfriend. I mean, yeah, boyfriend, and I was married before Michael. So I think in my first marriage, I was giving a lot of chance, and when I said no, it was completely no. Like I'm divorced. Is no. Do you hear me? Because I
Yeah.
think in Brazil, my sister example, she was married for many years. So I don't know how many times she broke up when she was still dating the guy, like 5 times, and would come back to it, try again. And after 1 year, 2 years married, break up, divorcing, then try again. Like I have to make a decision, boom, and go for it, you know. Because if you keep trying, you're gonna be unhappy when you see something's not gonna work. And I think that was in her head. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna try. I have
Yeah.
kids with this. I'm gonna try. I'm like, oh my god. And then
Yeah.
what happened now? Like she's finally separated. She made the decision, but she talked to me sometimes saying like, I can't believe I spent all these years of my life if I had the decision in my head many years ago. You know, like she spent basically 10 years. Or she decides she don't want to be with the person anymore, like 2 years after they were together, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
10 years later, she got out of this relationship because she was too scared. She didn't want to fight or anything like, but you're going to be unhappy. And she wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So, and now she's free. She want to be like a crazy life and live. Like, yeah, you wait so many years, but never too late, right?
Never too late.
Never
Late,
too late.
happy.
Because I think in Brazil, in a lot of places, especially some churches, they say things like you can't divorce because you're gonna go to hell, or you
Yeah.
have to marry like the old times for the rest of your life. If you
Yeah.
are unhappy, it's your problem. So that's some things that the family teach it. My mom's like, she's very clear. The guy's pissing you off, give some chance, and then boom,
Yeah.
bye. She's very
Yeah.
clear. I get this
Someone
from
someone said sometimes it's worth fighting for a marriage, but sometimes it's not. And I love that. Like, you know when it's worth fighting, and you know when it's time to walk away, and it's knowing the difference, and not staying too long so 10 years doesn't go by and you're still in that same situation.
I had a therapist, and I was talking to her a lot about it. She gave me advice like, go talk to him and say you're gonna fight for it. And I did talk, like, let's do it, let's change. And past like 1 week, 2 weeks later, I found out myself in the situation that I was the only one trying, you know, I was the only one fighting for it
Yeah.
or doing everything. I was the only one. The person only cares about his own stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like, what am I doing here? Because if you only care about your own stuff, you better be alone. So you don't have me on your ears all the time talking about us and us, you know? So that's one thing. And I told her, like, please, and she was like, what is the point of being in a marriage where you're the only one trying or fighting for it? Because I think it
So
has to be both parts, you know, if you love each other. But I felt like this is not love, you know, like the person, if an example, if you're sick, if you're in the hospital, or if you almost died, I think your husband will be desperate for you, like save your life. Or he is gonna go there and
yeah.
try to do something, you know, talk to the doctors, know how you are. He's not gonna say, for fuck's sake, just leave, go back home,
Right.
because I
Yeah.
have cancer here. In If a person says that, what do you think in your head? Like, holy shit, I'm in the hospital, I almost die, and the person wants me to go back home. Don't even care about how I feel. Am I feeling, you know?
Yeah.
So that's in my mind. Like, is this real love? Because if it happens the opposite, I'll be desperate.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what's wrong? What's happening? Can you help me?
Right.
So
Did you ever think what's wrong with me? Did you ever, like, were you in that place where you started to, like, question your own sanity in all of this, and maybe it was like your problem? Because I think that's common in a lot of times in relationships, like you described, is you kind of say, you turn in and you're like, all right, well, it's me, it's not them, like, what's wrong with me? I'm curious about your experience with that.
I I did. I was like, am I too lazy? That's why you don't like me? Sometimes I would say that it's because I don't make enough money, or maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe because I don't know how to talk. I'm not
Yeah.
a real businesswoman like that can help him and his stuff. Maybe if I could help and his stuff, he would love me more. So I started questioning these things, you know,
Yeah.
and I was trying to do my best. And that's another point. Everything I tried, like new things on my Instagram, trying to make money or new jobs. It was never enough for him. Besides modeling, modeling was a little slow, but I try and find new things. So it was never enough. He always like um was yelling, or he didn't talk exactly, you know, he was kind of yelling child on me, talking
Mm-hmm.
why 10 reasons, 10,000 reasons why I couldn't do it. So I was like, shit, I can't find anything that he likes. So I was trying to make his favorite food, or trying to be give him my best, you know. Not always, because I had my explosions, of course, but it was like, what's wrong? Yeah, I did question myself a lot of times, you know.
Yeah.
And I tried more attention, like be bring food to where he was, or trying to buy something that the person likes, or make a reservation of restaurants that we could go together. But was not nothing wrong with me. I was the maid.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
the one doing everything. Like what? Because I found myself in a situation where I even have a video of that. His whole family watching TV. I think was him, his ex-wife, the two kids watching TV, and I was cleaning. And they asked me when the food's gonna be ready because I was cooking too. I was like, "Do I work for this family, or am
Oh
I
my.
part of the family?" That's why I questioned many times. And then what my feeling inside, I wanted to break the room, break everything around me, but I
Yeah.
had to keep, because I was so angry, you know, like,
Yeah.
how did I find myself in this situation? How? What did I do wrong? You know, to be here right now like that, and they treat me like that, and then they might dare not treat me like that, and they might dare help me somehow. You know, they
Yeah.
that's the point. Where you go crazy, they don't see what you're doing, because they don't care, and they don't know how to show them what are you doing. And then I was trying to show more and more and more. There were points I was cleaning house until, because it's very huge, the house, till 3 in the morning, you know. 3, 4 in the morning, to make everything clean, so they would wake up and everything's ready, perfect. And then I was like, why am I doing that anyway? So they could say congratulations to me to be in my own house, and why they do nothing, wake up super late and don't work.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm out of here. People can judge me whatever they want, you know, that I want this piece of paper, but I actually don't. That's why I'm leaving. I'm out of here, this country. I
Yeah.
I had to, because everything reminded me then, you know, everything. So I had to give a little time for myself out of the United States, because I remember he did a lot. The process was long. He really wanted me to go there. I did never want to leave the United States. I want to live in London, but he couldn't leave his kids and just move there. So I understand. And he was the one to start the process. I was like, okay, I'm going there. So basically, I left everything I had here, because I had my new family in Italy, friends in London, friends everywhere. Could just travel around. I left my life here for him, you know. And I knew nobody there. When I tried to make new friends, the people around the area, because we live in a very poor place, they were kind of rude. So I just let it go.
Yeah.
I like it to be at home, or first. When you were married, it was really nice. After married, it was nice as well. Before he put people into a relationship, you know. So I think that was the big problem. It's like if you're married to your husband right now, and he just have this, and I need to help the other wife I had. I'm gonna put her in the house, and she seems a little weird. Sometimes she likes you, sometimes she hates everyone. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And you end up not being the owner of your house anymore. That's what happens to me. You
Do you
know,
have any regrets?
the marriage.
Any? Yeah.
I regret not is that I didn't communicate well. Okay, so I'm gonna say in this way. I regret not being so super powerful. You know, like you have to make the decision together. It's not only about you, what I'm gonna feel about it, because he did make the decision by himself. He didn't ask me or anything. So that's the way the person was treat me. You shut fuck up. I do this. I make all the decisions. You do whatever you want here. I make everything. So I like what I like about my new partner. He asked me everything. You know, we him. I'm not used to that, so I'm still learning to make decisions together. You know, and he's kind of teaching me a lot of things like how to communicate, how to make decisions together. Where do we go? Have to travel to this place. I never had that in my past relationship. It was basically everything he do it. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, we this place and boom, I have to go. I'm like, but what? I don't like that. Why do I have to go there? But I was kind of just going with the flow. Okay. So when they move into the house, they just start to sleep over and over. And I was like, this is weird, but okay, it's fine. Prepare the guest room, make everything nice, and then boom, move. I was like, what's happening? Was shocked, but tried not show up. Was shocked. And then I look at him like, what's happening? And there he was like, they'll be in my house for some months, and then they go out of my house. Make sure that was his house, you know. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your house, you
Yeah.
know. You have the power. But my mother-in-law, ex-mother-in-law, she was like, no, he doesn't have fucking food about anything. You can't let this happen. You have to put them out. They have to live their own life. I was like, okay. But it was too late, you know.
Yeah.
I've always made excuse. It was really good. They're good people, but just don't live with that, you know. They're really nice people, but you know, you have to starting over your life. Both of them, they're married, so they have to move somewhere else, live a real marriage life, because it was kind of being bad for me, my ex, and both of them, because his ex-wife married a new guy.
Yeah.
He was living there as well, so it wasn't doing any good for both of us.
No, it's set up for disaster right from the beginning.
It wasn't, yeah, basically it wasn't doing any good for me or her. I really try to be understanding, because if I say I want to get out of here right now, but inside me is like, she's sick. Okay, I understand. I help whatever I can. And I did more than I could, like doing basically everything while they were sleeping to 2 in the afternoon. I was like, okay, but this is too much.
Yeah.
Make a change. But I didn't do anything for change. I was doing exactly the same thing every day. This is for me. This is my fault as well, you know. And I think we both make bad decisions, and that's what happened to our marriage. I learned now if he do that, like, oh, they leave or I leave. I have to choose. You know, you can't do that to me again. So,
So,
but
Juliana, what's next for you? What does the future look like?
well, I have a new family coming. I'm having a baby. I think I told everyone already. A little early to tell, but and I want to show you something.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it. Let me see. A second.
Is it a picture?
Yes, I have the picture. I was.
I think we're getting like the first ever preview, right?
Uh-huh.
Get with the
I
world.
talked a few times, like 3 times now, and I couldn't really see because it's very small. I think this was the first one we did.
A little bean.
Oh, I almost cry. I want to cry, but I want to be strong for my partner.
Oh, you totally can cry.
He was
You're like,
like this.
oh.
And he was dancing. He was moving his little arms, like he or her. I don't know if it's a boy, but he was moving the little arms and the butt, and was like, "Oh my God, it's a Brazilian."
Feeling.
Yeah, it was dancing. It's so cute. And it's so small to be moving, but they have so much space, so she was kind of moving around, and it was so cute. I made like a video.
How have you been feeling?
I'm not feeling sick or anything. At first, I was like, am I really pregnant? Because of my friends. I have two friends that's pregnant. We're almost the same week, so we exchange experience. She's sick all the time. Um, don't want to really eat. She lost a lot of weight because she's throwing up a lot. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have anything. I just want to eat, eat, eat.
No, that's awesome.
Eat, sleep. What about your pregnancy? How was it?
It was really easy, actually. Mine was super easy. I didn't get sick. I was just tired a little bit at the beginning, but otherwise it was simple. It just the little bugger came really, really late. So he didn't want to come out. But
The
yeah.
bump?
What was that?
The little bump? What do you say? Sorry.
No, I said the little bugger. He didn't want to come out. He was like really late. So I
Oh,
went really far due date. So yeah, he's turning 16 in actually a week from today.
are
So
you
it's
planning another one?
No, I'm too old. I'm too old for anymore. No, I
You
have,
don't look old at all.
oh no. So he's 16, and then I have three stepkids who are 18, 20, and 22. So there is no more babies in our house. The next one will be a grandchild, which hopefully won't happen for a really long time.
You're not ready to be a grandma.
No, no, not yet. So yeah.
That's amazing how it works. Like I could never imagine. Like I could see pregnant women, but generate a new life. I could never imagine me in that position. And now sometimes I forget about it. I'm like, oh my God. Especially because the doctor said I can still work out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I'm at the gym, I want to get some heavy stuff because I used to work out like really hardcore. And then I forgot, like, no, I can't do this. I'm scared. I'm pregnant.
I know.
It's so weird to have a new life, you know?
It's exciting.
Have a new life. Like your son is 16.
He's 16.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
It's
this
crazy.
is so crazy.
It's
I'll
it's
have
not. It goes by fast. Like it sounds so trite, but it totally goes by so fast. Like I was looking at pictures a couple weeks ago and of him being like little, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like he's so little and like cute, and now he's 16, so it's crazy. But it's awesome. When is your due date?
July, in July, end of July, I think.
And
Yeah.
is that going to make him a Cancer? I think
Um,
maybe.
around 28th of July, something like that.
Yeah, might be. Fun. That's so exciting.
I'm very excited and move. My life changed like super fast. So
Oh,
that's something I want to share to the women. You know, you never know how your life's gonna be after you divorce, and you're so scared to try to change the situation where you're living in. And then when you do, and you really have like ready to do it, you have the power to do it. Oh, the strong decision in your head, boom, your life changed like this.
yep. Yep. And you never know. Like people who say, I'm never getting married again. I'm like, never say never. Like you don't know. You never
That's what
know who comes.
like. I'm not getting married again. I don't want to have anyone in my life right now. I just want to be a mom. I hate
Yeah.
everyone. And boom, right.
Funny how life works out that way. That's the magic
Yeah,
of it.
and I'm really happy about that. You know, I never been happy because I always that was my dream to have a baby, and I did try my past marriage. It didn't work. I think the life just the universe was like looking at
Yeah.
me. Yeah, this is the person. Boom,
Yeah.
the time,
Yep.
the right. I believe in that. The energy, and the right time, the right place for it, or make the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right.
Well, all right, girl. It was so good chatting with you.
Anything else you want to say? Share with the other women and men too as well, because we happen both of us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, life's too short. Live with the fullest to make. Do
Happy.
what makes
Amen.
That's really good.
Do what
That's anything else? Any other advice you wanna share with
no,
us?
it's just that you're like the model of what people should be doing in terms of like not getting stuck in something just because you feel like you have to and just because you're worried about what people think. It's like choosing. I mean, you can't like you're the picture of you were in something and you chose and say, you know what, not me. This isn't it. Like, and I'm gonna make this decision and I'm gonna have people who criticize me and I'm gonna do it anyway. And look at you now. Like you are absolutely glowing and you look so happy and like bravo to you. So I think that that's the advice is choose yourself first. Anyone who's out there, choose yourself and choose what makes you happy because you only have one life to live.
I agree. If you can't make you happy, yourself happy, what about if you can help yourself?
Yeah.
How can you help the other? Right?
And
So thank you so much.
keep asking about the dogs. Where are your dogs?
Oh, I when I was there, I lost one.
Oh,
She was already old, so it was really sad. I just had four. One of them, the brown one, guys. I think they know all my dogs. So
right.
Percy's dog is, I think, with Sarah or Sean because it wasn't my dog. The only dog I have there is the one with the funny eyes. That's Frank Zappa, and I just decide to live with the kids because I think the kids miss more him than I do, because I'm taking out from three people basically. And right now, um, I think my ex and the two kids need more than I do because it's really, 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 he's so cute. He brings so much happiness. He had like, when he smile, his eyes go crazy. It's so
Oh.
cute. And he's a Shih Tzu that he didn't grow, so he's always a puppy forever. He has this little problem. So
That's
that's
such kind. That's such a kind decision. Yeah,
yeah.
it's really.
I'm now I am the only one that miss him, But if I do want to bring him so bad and
Yeah,
have him in arms because he's such a cute. But the kids, I think they're gonna miss him a lot. And
yeah.
also, he was the best. His buddy, my ex buddy. So I just decided the doggies is
So
there.
so unselfish and so sweet.
Yeah, I hope they think like that. If they don't, it's okay. I did my best.
Can't how other people.
Because if I do take it out away, they're gonna be really sad. So
Yes.
thank you.
So, well, I'm really excited to watch your journey and watch you continue to grow and bloom and everything that's coming for you. You are just a shining star.
Thank you so much. You too. You helped me a lot, and especially like make me realize I'm not such a bad person.
No. Oh
And
God,
I
no.
experience, and
Hmm.
I think a lot of people that on this live as well. And I just want to thank you for everything, for your advice for tonight. Tonight, actually, it's night for me. For today, and I think that's another way that you can help people. I'm gonna post on my story later, and I think everyone's gonna love like I did.
Thank you. Thank you. It's it's my mission to just to remove the shame from divorce and just recognize it. It's just a moment, it's just one chapter. And there's so many more chapters of your book and anyone else's book who's going through a divorce to write. And you're the author of it. You get to create whatever life you want after. And that's what is so important to remember, that divorce is just a bit. Just a bit. It might suck. It might be horrible. It might feel awful, but you'll get past that. And there's definitely a light out the other side.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A big life full of happiness for you, waiting for you, and you have no idea it's gonna happen. And you just boom, and your life changes. Like that. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank
I
you.
love it too. Oh, they're asking about the name of the
Oh,
book.
book. You get to write whatever book you want and title it whatever you want. Yeah, write the story, whatever story you want, and and that's you're the author of it. So it's not not an actual physical book. Maybe Juliana, maybe you should be writing one. Maybe that's the next chapter for you.
Oh, that's a good idea. I have so many experience
Yep.
with having there. But
Yes.
you should be writing one too.
Oh, I am. I am.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
When's it gonna be done, the book?
We have it. We have it's out. My literary agent has it out to publishers now. So we're trying to get it picked up. So it's all about divorce.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I want to read.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Someone posted the name of the book, 90 Days After Divorce. That's brilliant. That's perfect.
90 days after divorce. That's cool. Good idea.
You're working.
Wow. Any more questions, guys? Let's see. Oh, Merry Christmas. I wanted to, oh my God. I wish you Merry Christmas. How's gonna be your Christmas? Gonna be at home?
Yeah, this week.
You're gonna be at home?
I'll be yeah, and then I'm going on vacation next week. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I think we're planning to go to Italy, maybe.
I love Italy.
We wanna ski. We're in some place that has like
I love I went right before COVID hit. I can't wait to go back.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Oh, they wanted me to post a video on YouTube? Something like that? Yeah. Full life after divorce. Okay. I think, what do you think about being friends with the family after divorce?
You know what? I think it depends on every individual situation. So my ex and I we have a really good relationship. I can't say we're friends, but it all depends. Some people can do it, some people can't. If you have a real asshole of an ex, like there's no reason why you should be friends with them. Like don't even try, or don't even, that's like torturing yourself. But some people are able to. I don't think there's any sort of.
You try to be friend with the family, but the family don't want to be friends to you. So that's a lot of situations like that. Or they totally block you.
Yeah, then you let them go. Like let them go. Move
on.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Guys, if you have any more questions for Renee. So just
will there be a surprise wedding?
We're very happy it matters. Yeah, agree.
Yep.
Mike and his family in the past. I really put Mike on his family.
Yeah.
Both is a beautiful woman, no? Thank you. Yeah, she is. Yeah. No more questions about the divorce, guys.
Do you have a baby bump yet? People are getting super personal. How did you explain to the children the separation?
I think, especially the girl, she kind of knew what was going on, the way I was acting. I couldn't express the love anymore because I was always so lovely. I like to hug and everything. And I just become cold. I think my heart just stopped, like completely loving anything. And I just told her, like, listen, I'm not working. I actually told her before telling her that. We are not working out anymore. You can see that I'm not happy, and I'm gonna make you unhappy.
Yeah.
Because I'm acting, and I'm sorry. And I would like to still be friends. I want to move to Europe, and I'm gonna travel now for work. Maybe I come back, and maybe when I'm there and work, I can pay your ticket so you can visit me, because I had dream wants to go to Paris, So it's like, take you to Paris. And she was very excited about it. I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm so jealous. Just go. what are you still doing here? You know, she's giving me the support. She cried a lot because she wants me to, of course, no
Yeah.
big change, but she kind of understand. And the boy was easy. He was just whatever, you know.
He's a boy. He's like, whatever. When are we eating
The
next?
boy, another girlfriend, the goals, you know. He just already teenager, so he was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
But
teenagers don't care about anything but themselves.
the girl are more like friends, you know. So
Yeah.
it was kind of hard to explain, but she kind of understand. Now I think the parents block her, and the mom doesn't like me. Don't care.
Yeah.
No.
Let them go.
Yeah, I'm done. The father, yeah, he don't want to keep in touch. He don't contact me. He don't answer me. What I'm gonna do? But he have to solve the problem anyway. You know, have to sign. If you wanna be
Yep.
free, like I think a person he might be hurt, so I'm giving him a little time to process. Not forever. Otherwise, I have
Yeah.
to like
Yep.
really move. You know,
Yeah.
not afraid. There's some ways we can do, but that's it. It's complicated, not
It
easy.
is complicated. It is always complicated, but it is not impossible.
It's not impossible. I think it'd be easier if I was there. Just knock the door. Hey, can you fill up documents, please? Move
Yeah.
fast. I like to things move like that, but now I'm so
I know.
slow. I don't
I know.
understand. I can't even think. I saying everything like the totally the opposite sides. My head's not working right now because I'm a little slow. Well, I hope maybe because I'm pregnant or not. I only think about baby, baby, baby. What I'm gonna buy for the
Yeah.
baby, baby. And then my boyfriend asked like, "Did you solve this problem? Did you do this or that?" I was like, "The baby what?" Like I can't think about it. So he's been really helpful with that stuff, you know. That
Do you
yeah.
prefer being to
Uh,
America?
sorry.
So someone said pregnancy brain. Yep, that's what it's called. Pregnancy brain. It's a real thing.
It's not because I don't like America. To answer this question, if I prefer staying in Europe or America, it's just because I spent so many years in Europe. I got used to it, you know. And I really want to know every little city that they have here. That was always my dream, and I was doing it before I moved to America. But now I just love it. You know, some people love to live in Brazil, love to live in America. I love to live in Europe.
Yeah.
You
There's a
know,
good reason.
it makes me.
You're
I love the United States. New York's beautiful. Connecticut's beautiful. They have a lot of nature. But I love it. And the food is just, oh my god, it drives me crazy. When I go to Italy, I
Yeah.
it's so
I
good.
Where I had the best pasta that I've ever had in Venice, and I've forever been like chasing like the same dish here. And every time I go to a restaurant here and they have it on there, I'll order it, and it's never the same. It's so disappointing.
I know. I had
Here.
gnocchi in
Mm,
Italy. I don't remember the city. I think it was in Florence. Oh my god, it's so good, so
yeah,
good.
yeah. It
Is it?
doesn't.
I did I asked it for the same thing in Milan and it was good. It's still good. I
Yeah.
ordered in I think in Italian restaurant in I think in near to Greenwich they have like an Italian restaurant there. I ordered the same thing. It was like,
No.
can I change
Yeah.
the dish?
It's not the
It's just
same. It's just
different.
yeah. It's the best in the markets. Just the walking around and like picking out your dinner for the day. It's another whole experience. It's not.
So
It's not.
cute. And that German too, like when I got here, I think the second day I want to try the beer because everyone talks about German beer. I was like, what is this? This
Yeah.
is so crazy. It's delicious. And I love it. It makes me I desire the beer here. It's so
Yeah.
good, so delicious, so tasty. But now I can't. I would
Mm.
have like 4 cups a day, the big ones, if you let. Because it's delicious. And now the Christmas they have like this little market, Christmas market with a lot of different foods. And with churros. They have, like in Brazil, they have the corn, the cob. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is so good. So I love it. It's so pretty, the city. I think every city here has a different thing.
Have you gone to any of the Christmas markets in Germany?
Yeah, I did. They have
You
one
did.
really where I live. I love it. It's so good. I've been there. I think I had like churros sandwich. They have the steak sandwich. They have corn cup. These little donuts is very little. They make it like fried in front of you. They give. Oh my God, I have
Yeah.
to be on there because I'm gaining so much weight.
It's okay. You're allowed to. I always said I wanted to go to Europe during Christmas time and just do all of the Christmas markets, just bounce around from country to country.
Yeah. Oh, what is the place? Really good Christmas market. Copenhagen. Amazing
Uh,
market. I was there. I think Copenhagen. Yeah, so good. In Hamburg, if you wanna ski, the best place like that I have been is in Italy. They have like this place. What's the name? It's called Ponte di Legno. It's very close to Milan. So if you land in Milan, you can drive car like 2 hours and get there. It's like a little village in the middle. There's mountain around and the village in the middle.
oh,
Oh, it's not so pretty. It's
I have some travel lust now.
big dogs running around because everyone has big dogs there, big like snow dogs. So and then instead cars, you can see like the little bikes. They have the ice bike. I don't know how to say, but so cool. So you definitely have to come here for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Look, this Portuguese comment. From 10 words that you say, Juliana, 11 is about food.
That's hysterical.
It's all I can think about.
Okay.
Oh, how did your perception on love or what is changed after divorce? So what changed? I think what I didn't have before, like the communication,
Yeah.
and stop blaming myself for something,
Yeah.
and then making decisions together. Realize like now, sometimes I don't show my partner, but I have to, like, damn it, can't forget that, he's part of my life now. It's two people living the same life. You have to get used to what he likes. He have to get used to what I like. Now for me, I have to learn what he likes, because sometimes I won't think about me. I'm like, stop it.
I'm guilty.
I'm guilty about that.
Yeah.
And basically, I barely do something here because he likes to, that changes a lot. He likes to cook sometimes, but he definitely cleans the house all the time, so I don't have to worry about that. And he likes to go out all the time and just get fresh air. She make me do it instead of stay at home the whole time. I'm like, let's go get fresh air. I'm like, no, I want to watch movies. Let's get rest alone. So that's what happened. Like, he pushed me. A lot of things changed after the divorce. Like the way I was before, the way I am now. I can recognize myself before that. I don't drink because sometimes I would, if I have a problem, alcohol. Something happened, I had a bad day, alcohol. Now change completely.
Yeah.
Let me see. What about happy talk? Divorce talk is best and sad. No, but it's life after divorce.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's perfect. There is a happy life after divorce, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, I should write in my life after I'm gonna save on my IGTV. So happy life after divorce.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Because you think about it like, shit, this is bad thing, but
no, it's the positivity. Like, this is the focus, is the is what the possibility of what can happen after.
Yes. When did you get know that you're pregnant? Oh, funny enough, I was like, why am I so bloated? You know, because
You're like, what did I eat?
and then I start to work out really hard, and I slowed down the food, and I had the job. They took a picture, like, why am I so big? What's going on? And I just went to the supermarket. My face was looking like a mole, and I saw two pregnant women. When I was going in, when I was going out, I'm like, no, let me come back here and get this pregnant test because maybe it's a
No
sign.
way.
I bought one and it was unclear. It was like negative with a little line. It was almost positive. It was like, no, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I can't be happy now. No, tomorrow I'll buy an expensive one that's clear. Boom, pregnant. That says that. And then I
Wow.
did. I bought 3 tests and I was pregnant.
Just to be sure.
And I was like, that's why I bloated. Makes sense. And I didn't know if I was happy, how I'm gonna tell my boyfriend that, what is gonna be his reaction, what I'm gonna do. I was like, oh, what's happening? I was driving, sometimes I would not focus on driving, and I had to stop and focus, I had the work in the next day. I just want to yell at everyone, I'm pregnant. Oh, and the next day the work was bikini.
Oh, oh no.
Now that I'm pregnant, I only have bikini or underwear, lingerie jobs. I was like, what's going on?
That's so.
And then I was like, guys, listen, before you guys complain about my belly, I'm not fat, okay? I'm pregnant. Just go on. Do you still talk to the kids? I was, but the kids blocked me. So I don't think it was the kids that blocked me. I think it was the
Yeah.
parents. Especially
Probably.
because, yeah, even the phone the girl was using, I gave her, So she has a lot of respect for me, for everything.
Sometimes you have to close that door,
Yeah, it's better. Move
Yeah.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Good time. And what else, guys? Any more questions? Favorite word? Boom. Terrified. Oh my God. I was telling my mom, I might be pregnant. And she said she was walking the sidewalk got high because in the end there's this drop. And then she was like listening to the audio many times. She didn't pay attention and she felt her face on the floor.
Oh no.
And I think, let me see if I don't know if I have the picture. She sent me a picture after that. She was like, the bomb here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I want to do about the questions. I want to do a gender reveal.
Ah.
So your English has improved so much. Thank you. I still don't think so. Sometimes it's complicated for me to talk.
English is hard.
It's just in general, like I have a little problem with communication. In Portuguese, sometimes I'm like, I have to work on that.
How
And
many
in
languages?
Italian and Spanish, English, Portuguese.
Amazing.
And I understand a little Chinese when I live in China.
That's incredible.
I had to learn German. That's, I think, the hardest language I ever like. Oh my God, how am I gonna learn that? Not as impossible, but oh my God. Any more questions for me, guys? Are you going to save this life? Definitely. What do you think, Renee?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did Mike sign the paper? No yet. How many weeks your baby when you found out?
Are you happy now? Do you really need to ask that? Look at her.
Yes. I think you can see in my face.
Yeah.
Definitely. Um, it's not difficult for Portuguese. You what else, guys? How did you meet your new boyfriend? Um, yeah, it's complicated questions. I want to make this more special. Because the way we met is a little complicated. Like, how do I explain that? It's still hard. I have to think like, hey, how do we really met? I have to talk a lot.
You know, you can keep that to yourself. You don't have to share everything.
um, Place to go to Brazil when the baby is born. Yes, I want to show like this. That's where you come from too. I will definitely want to teach about the culture.
Who's asking about her weight? Come on.
So rude.
No.
You and Ben look great together. Thanks so much, guys. Oh, my weight, seriously?
Yeah, no.
Every time I go to the doctor, I'm heavier. Oh, normal, right? Delighted.
Exactly. Have to share everything. Agreed.
You're going, but don't look pregnant. Okay. Any more question again? You can, yeah, I can give a lot of things. There's nothing wrong about asking weight. It's like in culture. Okay. I kind of agree. Birthday stress. Wait. Um, are you planning living in Germany? I think so. Divorce. Do you have divorce degree? It's for, I think it's for you, Renee. This
What
question.
is it? Do you
Do you
have
have
a
a divorce degree? Something
oh,
like that?
divorce degree? Yep, I'm a lawyer. I'm a divorce lawyer. I've been doing it for 20 years now.
Now this is the questions everyone asks. We still marry again? With a ring on my finger? Yes.
There you go.
Can't wait to marry again. It's crazy, right?
No,
Just to...
not crazy.
um, did work make you go to Germany? Yeah, I came here for work. Exactly, like more for work than I just went to Italy to visit because I lived there for many years. I want to see my friends. Then I came here for work. That's how I met Ben. Do you have plans to put the baby into modeling? No.
Oh my goodness.
No, no. I can never say never. So my opinion is I don't want to, but let's see, right?
Divorce lawyer and divorce experience. So yes, I'm also twice divorced, married 3 times. So I've lived it and I work it.
You divorced 3 times?
I'm divorced twice, married 3 times.
Twice.
Yep,
So
finally. Took third time's a charm. Took me 3 to find my match.
you actually controlling. I don't know. Maybe I let he control me. It can be one person's fault. Can't wait for gender reveal. Guess I go. What else, guys? Are you legally divorced now? No yet. Can be better qualified than that. Good. How? What about? Did you took care of your own case? when you divorce?
Oh, no, I didn't. I actually, you know what? Both of mine were, well, no, I should say both of mine were really simple. So I didn't have a lawyer. We just wrote up my first one. We wrote up the agreement. He had it looked over, realized I wasn't screwing him, and we signed it and went in. And then the second one, he never got involved. He didn't show up at all. So I wrote up, it was so short. It was such a short marriage. I was in it and out of it within a year and a half. So there was really nothing to divide. And we just, you know, did it really easily.
Oh, so that's easy.
Yeah.
That's the second option. When the guy don't wants to, we have to go to the second option, right?
Yep. So you show, if the person doesn't show up, you would file the paperwork, say, hey, just divorce us because there's nothing to divide, and the court will grant it, whether they're there or not. They don't care.
Yeah, then might be a little hard to marry so many times in the United States because it's expensive, the divorce, right?
It can be. Yeah, it can be for some people.
To sign, like, needs to sign a paper, it doesn't control me.
But in Europe, divorce is free. Huh? Interesting.
It is? I don't think so. It's not?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Ben? I don't think he can hear.
It maybe means the filing is free, but not the, if you have kids and you have to negotiate support and custody, I'd imagine that you have lawyers involved there too.
I think it still need a lawyer. It's not enough.
Yeah.
At least in German, it's not for free.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen at sea.
You'll never know. You won't have to worry about that.
I do my best.
Yes.
Oh, this man, he's handsome. Jealous. Do you have any more questions, guys? Like, really questions? That's not about the baby.
Or you
Another life. Yeah, all the weight. I can make another life only about the babies. It's free to file. In Sweden, it's free. It can be. Like in a lot of countries, it's different. Like in United States, a lot of states, they're different laws. So yeah. That's what I heard.
Yep, every state has a different set of rules and procedures.
Juliana looks up, thank you. I know, I have a friend, she had a little trouble here. I think the guy make an agreement and in order for her to divorce, he kept the kid. I something like that instead of her, because he had more way to take care of the kid, like money or something. And she didn't. It's kind of, why did you broke with Michael? I just said in the live. I'm gonna save the live so you guys can watch again. I think I said that in the beginning. Has family been supportive with the divorce? Funny enough, when I told my mom, like, Mom, this is not gonna work anymore. I don't think I'm gonna be together with him. She was like, finally, always I call you, so happy. Finally, you seem happy. Oh my God. No more past personal questions, please. Okay. Can you what is this? Petition for your husband to pay for the divorce? I think the question is, can you make your husband pay for the divorce instead of paying for it?
I mean, just generally, for a legal question, you can always ask somebody else to contribute to legal fees. So there's ways to go around doing that.
There is. So you don't have to.
So it's a little bit more complicated. So usually that doesn't get granted until well into the divorce. And if you end up in trial and you're in front of a judge and you have a hearing and you ask for legal fees that way, then the judge has the ability to grant someone legal fees. But a lot of times, if you're trying to get the process to happen quickly and fast and move things by an agreement, then legal fees are just each person is paying their own. So usually it's like just when you're going to a trial, and legal fees are really high because it's been dragged out for so long. So there's ways to ask for it.
Oh, but seems complicated.
Yeah, not quite. It's not quite black and white, but there's a way of doing it.
Can Michael try to ask for the money? Yeah, I mean, he did ask for some things back, but it's just to make it everything hard. Doesn't mean he will stop when he have it, you know. What happened to Michael business? So, okay, this you can ask him these questions
Yeah.
that like, this
Right.
person stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about other things. Oh, you have a
Oh.
round your head.
My sign. It's my sign behind me. That's funny.
um, can Michael ask for money support from Juliana? I don't think he can do that.
Well, and so in a divorce, anyone can ask for whatever they want. It doesn't mean they're actually going to get it. So people can make unreasonable demands, and they do all the time, but that doesn't mean that they're going to have it given to them.
Yeah, it'd be fun if he asked for it, and the people can call me gold digger again. Actually, it's the opposite. Yeah. What is your life in Germany compared to US? Complicated question. It's like life after the divorce.
Happy.
Actually, the questions. When I was here, let me see. I've been to. I'm here for a few months now, since the end of August. So I think like 4 months. I've been to, I think, four different new countries. Like Prague. No, let me see what place. I don't know. I just come back to travel so much again.
Yeah.
And it just changed like that. First of all, when I got to Europe, I went straight to Italy, and they prepared like a big birthday party for me. I was in this island in Italy, and my friend has a boat, so they prepared like a big birthday party for me while I was all day in the boat.
Oh my God.
Out
Amazing.
on the ocean with my friends. So it was like really cool. Oh my God. And I spent like a week on the beach. Yeah, on the beach. Enjoying and drinking a lot of beer. I was kind of celebrating freedom, you know. Happy, and at the same time thinking like I still have to make sure. Oh, guys. The beautiful. I'm sorry, my internet is really bad. I just got